this is it. I'm trying something new. Here I am in my studio, a little different angle than you normally see it. And I want to bring you something that I got over the holidays. I think it's fantastic. There are these Mission Gold watercolors. I'm going to throw them up here on the table. Going to open them up, take an initial look at it. I hope you like it. I hope you stick around, see how they turn out. And let's get to it. Alrighty, here we are. These are the Mission Gold watercolors. I have been hoping to get these for a long time. They came in the mail a couple of days ago, and I'm just getting around to opening them up. Here's still sealed up on the back. This is the 24 pack of colors. Each tube in here is 7 milliliters. I got these off of Amazon if you want to look them up. In fact, I think I have a link to them on my website. If anybody wants just to get a quick link, you can go to watercolorswithmichael.com and see them there. Okay, let's get right to it. Let's get to some opening of these. I need to just grab a palette knife so that I can cut the sides off of here and dig into this pack. This is going to be very exciting. Come on, Michael, come back. There it is. There's the palette knife. So let's flip this box upside down and let's see what we have inside here. So the box is taped along the sides. There we go. And just a quick open. Okay, we've got some other papers in here. This is a little booklet that's got all of the different colors that Mission Gold makes, or Mission makes in their gold watercolor line, and a little bit about how they make it and how they get their pigments. There's that, and all of the colors. They've got quite a full color line of 126 colors in here, but let me set that off to the side for just a second. Then there's this strange piece of paper that says 5 keywords on it, and I've looked this over several times and none of it seems to be in English. I'm going to pass on that. All right, here are the actual colors, and they are in beautiful gold tubes. Here they are. Mine are a little jumbled up. I'm going to get those the right way around, but beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, let me count them to make sure that there are 24. They didn't gyp me in any way, shape, or form. I'm happy about that. But here they are, and on each individual tube there is the color name, the color number, there is the pigment number on each, along with the color fastness rating and staining or non-staining and transparency rating. So I'm just going to kind of get all of these in the box just right, and I'm going to go on from there. So later in this video, I am going to make a swatch card. I am going to put all of these into tins, or into a tin, and look at them each individually. So let's move on to putting these paints into the individual palettes. I've sped this bit up just a little bit because it's a lot of repetition. I could tell you about the individual colors. I might do a little bit of Chinese white. The first one here, PY6. This is going to be a little bit more of a technical section. I've sped it up as fast as I think I should in order to make it easy to view, but not made it so fast you can't see anything. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, this one is lemon yellow. It's PY3. There we go. Just fill that up, and I'm just going to put these into the tray exactly in the order that they come out of the box in. I'm just looking at my M. Graham swatch card there. This third one is permanent yellow deep. It's PY65. And if you look at the swatch card that I've got there, I've got a series of lines on it. Each square we're on to yellow orange now, combination of pigment orange 73 and pigment yellow 65. Each square corresponds to one of the full pans. I've gotten quite a bit of yellow on myself. And then there's a black line through the side of it in addition to the numbers and words that I'm writing there, so I can see all through the swatch card what the opacity of these really looks like. Okay, this one is permanent red. It's PR112, and the last one on the top row is quinacridone permanent rose, PY19. Let me fill that one up and see if I can keep it off of my fingers. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. There we go. Very good. And now I've got a decision to make. Do I want to curl this around and start from the same end and just wrap it around, or start it like a typewriter? I chose to wrap it around. This is Rose Madder, a nice dark red. This is PR176. And Bright Opera right next to it. And boy, is it bright. It's PV10 and PR112. There we go. It doesn't look so bright in there, but it does look pink, that's for sure. The purple that I have in my hand now is Bright Clear Violet. PR122, PB29. And another color that I can't read on my card, PV31. Okay, the first blue that I get into, the first true blue, is a cerulean blue. It's PB15. Let me write that down there. And I should say, I'm writing this with just a demonstrator fountain pen. It's got some permanent waterproof ink. It's a Noodler's ink that I like very much. This one that I'm writing down now is Cobalt Blue. It's PB29 and PB15. And Peacock Blue ends the second row with PB13 and PG7. Let me just fill that up there for you. Very good. I know this is a little bit more technical. I'm trying to get into the pigment numbers of all of these a little bit more so I can do a better comparison across manufacturers of colors, rather than just go by the name, because the names don't necessarily mean as much. This one in the third row is Ultramarine, which is PB29 and PB15. Normally, you don't see a mix on the Ultramarines. And Indigo next to it, PB29, PB27, and PBK7. So 3 pigments in the Indigo there. And now I'm into the greens, which is, this first one is Viridian. And Viridian is PG7, Pigment Green 7. Followed by Hooker's Green, which is a combination of 3. PG36, PBR25, and PY150. Now we're on to good old Sap Green, PG36 and PY150, a nice yellowy green. And to start some earth tones here, we've got Yellow Ochre, which in the Mission set is PY42 and PY150. And by putting the pigment numbers down, also, you can begin to see what is in each of these pigments to know if you want to stick with more of a pure pigment, if you want to buy colors from one manufacturer or from another, or you might be able to see exactly what is making a pigment or a color from one manufacturer more vibrant or more dull than another by the pigment colors that are in there. So on the bottom row, we're starting with Raw Sienna. I'm falling behind a little bit. Pigment Yellow 42, Pigment Yellow 65, and Pigment Brown 25. The second one, the one I just filled up there, is Burnt Sienna. Pigment Brown 25, Pigment Red 112, and Pigment Yellow 150. Followed by Burnt Umber, which is another triple. Pigment Brown 7, Pigment Brown 25, and Pigment Yellow 150. And right in the middle on the bottom row is Red Brown, which is Pigment Brown 25. Actually, Pigment Brown turns, brown red. Turns out to be quite a nice color. I can't wait till you can see that. And my old friend Van Dyke Brown. I haven't used Van Dyke Brown in quite a while. It's Pigment Brown 7. And the last color we've got here is Ivory Black, PBK number 7. There they are. Those are all of the colors that we've got. Let's get on to some more fun stuff now. Okay, now that all the pans have been filled, let's get to squatching. Squatching isn't right. Let's get to swatching. Okay, now that all that technical name, number kind of thing is done, we can get into looking at some colors. First, just let me drop this into the tin fully. There it is, folds up very nice. I am going to have to let this sit for a night or two before I really move it, because I don't want my paints to run all over the place. They are still very wet, and we can get on now to filling out the swatch card. Okay, for me, I have to turn the swatch card upside down because my table that I paint on is on about a 15-degree slant, and it's just going to be easier to make a gradient if I put one color, if I put the heavier color at the bottom. So I'm going to do this entire thing upside down. Chinese white, not much to talk about, but the lemon yellow, super bright yellow, pretty clear. It's not completely transparent, but it's awfully transparent. It just covers the black line on the side a little bit, but still quite a nice color. And the permanent yellow deep really looks like a new gamboge to me, or a gamboge color. A vibrant orangey yellow, a beautiful color. Yellow orange. In the image you're looking at, doesn't look that bright, doesn't look that vibrant, but it is really a bright yellowy orange. A beautiful color, it just pops off the page. Very nice. I think a little bit of color of the matte on this bleeds into the color swatch a little bit and throws the color off. Anyways, permanent red, the one I'm doing right now, super bright. I would say it looks a lot like Pyrrole red that I use in my M-gram set quite a bit. And the last one on the top row here is Quinacridone Permanent Rose. Getting into a little bit of the pinky color there, just a touch of it as it thins out, but a nice red color nonetheless. And there's our first row already done, and you can see how turning the swatch card upside down can help me build out that swatch. So here's a Rose Madder, a nice dark full-bodied red color. Even when it thins out, it's still got a nice color to it all the way through. And my nice bright pink here, bright opera. Holy cow, even on this little swatch card, look at how it shines through in bright pink. I'm not sure how I would ever use this. I'm sure I'll find some way to put that on there. Transparent. I forgot to go over that line with my Rose Madder. Rose Madder also awfully transparent. No problems with it at all. Now I've got bright clear purple, which is mostly transparent. I thought it would be, being a clear violet, I thought it would be a little bit more transparent than it is, but there's a little bit of opacity to this. But again, a beautiful color. I'm really impressed with all of the colors in this palette. The vibrancy is unbelievable. But here's where I have a little bit of a problem. This cerulean blue doesn't look like any other cerulean blue that I have used. Looks a little unnatural for a cerulean. It is a wonderful color of blue. Looks a lot more like a turquoise in my M-gram set than it does my cerulean, but a wonderful color nonetheless. Cobalt blue, just a bit brighter than I was expecting, but a wonderful color nonetheless. Very transparent. Can't wait to use that. And peacock blue. There it is. It's got just that little bit of green in it. Kind of a warmish blue. Beautiful. A little bit darker. But just a fantastic color. Look at the transparency on it. You can see the white shining right through that page. It's very nice. Okay, here's the ultramarine. And ultramarine looks like all of the other ultramarines I've used, even though it's a mix of colors and not a pure pigment, but it's still a fantastic looking color there. And indigo, with its mix of 3 different pigments in there, is really a wonderfully gray color. I always thought indigo was a little bit bluer than the color in here, but a nice color nonetheless. And here I kind of get mixed up a little bit. I skipped over Viridian and put Hooker's Green where Viridian should be. So if you're looking at that and remembering what I did before, that's why this looks so strange. That's actually Hooker's Green. A nice full-bodied green there. And now I've noticed it, and so I have to put Viridian right next to it. And Viridian is exactly what I thought it would be in this set. A bluish green. Nice strong color there. It's going to mix very well, I bet you, with many other colors. And now I'm back on track with this one. Sap green coming in. A nice warm yellowy green. Reminds you of springtime. And leaves growing and grass growing and whatnot. Beautiful color. Yellow ochre. Yellow ochre, it went on quite a bit brighter than I ever thought it would. When I first put this on the page, I thought, oh no, this is a super bright yellow ochre. But it dried down a little bit, and actually it's won me over a little bit. It's a beautiful color. The raw sienna on this, it really is a bit brighter. This is one that is brighter than I thought it needed to be. That doesn't mean it's a bad color, but it is a bright color. And the burnt sienna, the same way. Just a bit brighter in color. More stark than I thought they were going to be. They look, there's a lot more yellow in them to bring that color up. I always thought of those as more of an earth tone, a little bit more muted color. Here's a burnt umber, which is an earth tone, and it's exactly like I thought it would be. A nice yellowy brown. Beautiful color there. And this red brown that I didn't know what to expect anything of, and it turns out that it is just a wonderful color. Look at that. You really do get some red in there. And you get some nice dark warm brown in there too. That's going to be a wonderful color to use for a long time. Van Dyke brown, very dark color. Nice dark brown. Reminds me a bit of sepia. That Van Dyke brown does. Sepia I use in my M-gram set a lot. And the last one that we have here is ivory black. And there it is. I now have a black full-time in a set of paints that I have. Okay, like I said, there's my swatch card. I'm sorry, I had to do it upside down. There it is. And the Mission Gold Watercolors. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this helped you a little bit. You can see some of the colors there. I'm going to be using this set in the coming days, weeks, months, to get a feel for these, and then I'm hoping to do a comparison between
my painting style or whether
these paints, M-gram paints, and Holbein paints, just to see what's similar and what's different in the colors I have. Anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Thanks so much. We'll see you next video. Bye-bye.